Yo guys, I'm super excited because the Pocket 4P just got an update, and I love it when camera companies come out and they're constantly updating the firmware, adding new features, improving it. It just makes you excited for the camera. And we just got one recently. I don't know if it happened yesterday or a few days ago, but I updated this yesterday. Today is July 12th, so in case you're watching this video at a different time. All right, guys, I should have done this at the beginning of the video. I thought I remembered all the things, but I guess there's a few other ones that I want to mention. So the update is version 01.0018.11. That is the latest update, and it was in July 2026. Doesn't say specifically what date, but I can tell you that it had to have been within the past week or less. So here are some of the big key highlights on this update. Expanded auto ISO, enhanced range from 100 to 25,600 for improved low light noise performance, and a dedicated HDR night mode. There are new D-Log ranges for ISO, and that is for regular D-Log, you got 400 to 800, 400 to 1600, 400 to 3200, and 400 to 6400. So I think they split the different ranges, so that's pretty cool. And then HDR playback. It has native HDR playback. It's now available on capable devices, so that's for that HDR 10-bit profile that we now have on this camera. And then bug fixes. Resolve the exposure zoom bug fix in D-Log when transitioning from 1x to 3x, ensuring manual and auto ISO exposure matches. That is the biggest one for me, so that's not a problem anymore. Smart light fill. So now the magnetic light, the Osmo light, if you guys haven't seen, go check out that video. I put a little bit of footage on that. It's one of my favorite features of the Pocket 4 and 4P cameras. So now they added auto adjust for temperature and brightness based on your environment. So based on where you're at, it detects the colors and it changes the light temperature so it matches and you have a nice white balance all throughout your footage. That's really cool. And then they added the auto transfer support mode for iPhone 16 and newer, where you can automatically transfer the footage. Yeah, anyways, let's get back to the video. Boom, zoom. No exposure changes, guys. Check this out. Now I can zoom in and I'm not going up like a couple stops. Zoom in, boom. There it is. 3. Here, let's put it, I'm gonna put it on the tripod here, guys. So yeah, dude, look at this. They fixed it. Boom, 3x, no exposure changes. Now I can go back to 1x. All right, guys, so let's take a peek at the footage. We're gonna do normal 10-bit. We'll do the new HDR 10-bit. We're gonna do D-Log and then D-Log 2. So here is D-Log. Take a peek, we'll walk around. I haven't tried the tracking in a while, so kind of want to check this out. All right, so you're looking at D-Log. So we are now on the 60mm 1.8 lens with the ND64. This is D-Log, guys, check it out. We'll walk around, take a look at the footage. Don't mind my lawn. It was my son's birthday party yesterday, and so all the kids were playing out here, left all their toys out. Maybe you can't see them, but. All right, that's D-Log 3X. All right, guys, we are now on normal 10-bit color. I have the ISO to full range on all of these profiles. EV has been set to -0.3. I think that's the best on this camera for all the profiles. So you're looking at normal 10-bit color, guys. I'm not grading any of this stuff. This is what it looks like. Let's see what 3X looks like on this. Boom, 3X. No exposure changes, so that's great now. I don't have to buy new ND filters. I was waiting for somebody to come out with new ND filters. I'm not gonna lie, I actually ordered another set, the newer ND filters, because they're a little bit slimmer and I just kind of wanted to try them out. Yeah, this is the HDR 10-bit. There is a difference in ISO range. This one goes from 50 to 12,800, so you're able to go even lower than like D-Log and normal 10-bit color.
All right, guys, real quick on HDR 10-bit. I've noticed that it's a little kind of flat. It's almost like a mix of normal 10-bit color and D-Log combined, at least from like just what I'm looking at here on the computer. And I will say that also the tint on the camera, I had it on auto white balance, but it seems to be shifting more towards the green for some weird reason. I didn't touch the footage or anything like that. I wanted to leave it as is so that way you guys can check it out. But those are some of the things that I noticed right away.
But this is HDR, 50 to 12,800 is the ISO range on this. We got -3 on the EV, ND64, same thing. This is the wide angle lens, guys. 20 millimeter f2. Let's zoom in, see if there's any jumps in exposure. Oh, I see the jump looks a little bit more crazy because I have it on tracking. So I think when it zooms in, it's trying to find my face and it's jumping. So don't judge it for that. But this is HDR 10-bit, guys. This is a new profile. Let's go all the way over here to the sun, see if it still tracks me. See what the dynamic range looks like. All right. You guys notice any different? Man, I gotta mow this grass. One message that you do get when you switch to HDR 10-bit, it just says that you're supposed to view it on a device that can support HDR 10-bit or whatever it is called, which I would believe most TVs and I believe the computer and iPhones can take HDR. I think HDR 10-bit is kind of like a normal color profile, but with like extra dynamic range. Let's see, I'm gonna take this off, guys. We're gonna do, let's see if we can get like sky or something like that. All right. We're still recording. I just want to test this one a little bit more. So here we are, straight sun. Sky looks really blue. Here's straight sun, guys. As you can see, that looks really cool. Well, that's because the sun's kind of coming this way. So if you go this way, here's a high dynamic range situation, pointed up towards the sun. Boom. I love this camera, dude. That blue looks pretty saturated, but I'm just looking at it here on the screen. I'm not gonna color grade these. The only ones that are gonna be color graded are gonna be the D-Log, just because it's flat.
All right, another thing too is that I don't know if HDR footage is supposed to be color graded. It almost looks like it needs adjustments. To my personal, to my eye, I feel like it doesn't look too good just straight out of the camera. I think it needs processing, but I'm confused. So if anybody that is used to working with HDR 10-bit, let us know in the comments, because it looks like it needs to be processed. And then normal 10-bit color looks great, but it just, for my personal taste, is a little bit too crunchy, too punchy. And HDR felt the same way too when you guys saw it when the sun was hitting me and I took it off the tripod. It just felt too punchy, like it was too contrasty. So I don't know. Yeah, let us know if we need to process the HDR 10 footage. But let's get back to the video. We're gonna go to the D-Log 2.
All right, guys, this is D-Log 2. As you guys know, and if you haven't watched the other videos, D-Log 2 can only be used on the main sensor, which is the 1-inch 20 millimeter f2 lens, and you can't use, they don't allow you to have like a flexible ISO, so you can't set this like to that full range. You got to set it manually. So right now we are at ISO 1600. I do have ND64 on here because that's just what I've had for all of them, and for some reason, yeah, it's ISO 1600 at 1/50th shutter speed is what it looks like good in here. We're gonna play around with it, but this is what it looks like. I can't do 3x zoom on it. That's another thing too. You're stuck to 1x. So I don't see myself using D-Log 2 for anything. Maybe if I do like an interview setup or something like that, but because I use the 3x zoom a lot on this camera, that's the whole reason why you got it. It's not available. I just stick to D-Log. Plus I can match D-Log footage to my Pocket 4. I wanna see how much dynamic range I can actually pull back on here. I might need to drop the ISO. So here's the bad part. See, like right now, I'm overexposed. Even with the ND, I'm overexposed. I can't adjust it, but we'll see how much we can recover from it. So here it is. Let me drop the ISO. All right, guys, we're still on D-Log 2. I dropped the ISO to 400 from 1600. See how much I can recover on here. The sky looks really, really good. It's just like a nice natural blue. It doesn't look really saturated. HDR look really saturated. I don't know when you would use HDR. Maybe for filming like nature and stuff like that, it would look really cool. Maybe this is one of those things that looks really cool in like plants and flowers and colorful things. I don't know.
So I just found something out, and it was very confusing for me because I knew I saw ISO 50 on here on HDR, and it turns out that we actually have two menus, one for each camera. So when you slide to the Pro menu and you go to exposure on the left side here or whatever, see if we can, yeah, right there. For the first camera, which is the 1-inch sensor, you get, for HDR 10-bit, you get ISO 100 to 25,600. But if we switch over to 3X camera and we swipe up to that menu and go to exposure, you get ISO 50 to 12,800. That's the max range. Let's see what they are for different profiles. So let's go to normal 10-bit. Normal 10-bit on the 3X, you get 50 to 12,800 as well. And then let's go to 1X and then go to the Pro menu, go to exposure. Yeah, you get, for normal 10-bit on the 1X, you get 100 through 25,600. So I don't know if it changes, like when you go to, let's see if it automatically changes. Okay, so I have full range on the 3X, and then let's go back and see if it changes when I go to the 1X. Okay, perfect. So you do have to set these menus separately, guys. You got to make sure you go to whatever profile you're using, go to each Pro menu and go to manual and set your ISO ranges correctly, because they are individually from what it looks like. Let's go to D-Log real quick because I use D-Log. I want to see if it's the same. D-Log. All right. Let's see. D-Log. If we go to manual. Okay, so for D-Log on the 1-inch sensor, you get ISO 400 to 6400. And then on this new update, they finally added those like little increment ranges. So you can go from 400 to 800, 400 to 1600, 400 to 3200, and then 400 to 6400. I leave the full range ISO on here. I want to try to get as much light as I can. Let's go to 3X and see what the ranges are for that on D-Log. So for that, you also get 400 to 6400. So for D-Log, it's pretty much straight through the same. Let's see, just out of curiosity, let's see what D-Log 2 is. D-Log 2, that one's only, oh, well, I guess that doesn't matter. That's only supported on the 1X. So just to double check, we have ISO 100 to 3200, and you have to set those manually. So anyways, that was a little correction I wanted to make on there because, yeah, I was confused from that 100 to, 25,600. And then the other one goes from 50. So there are two separate menus. Make sure you double check that, especially for normal color and HDR 10-bit users. You got to set those parameters individually for the 1X and the 3X menu. I think that's pretty much all for the video today, guys. I hope you are enjoying your Pocket 4. I'm really excited about this update because they fixed that 3X to 1X like exposure shift. And now it's a lot easier to use it with the NDs. So I hope you enjoy these videos. And if you guys want to see some more, let me know. I like to test these videos out in real, natural lighting, because a lot of these reviews that I'm seeing and tests and D-Log tests are like in studios where they have like diffusers and soft lighting, and it's just not the same. Like realistically, we use these outside with our kids and stuff like that. We don't always have the best lighting, the best colors. Things are just different. Lighting, we don't have control of lighting outside, and so we want to see what these cameras actually look like in real life. And so I always want to see tests like these where it's like, hey, you know what? I didn't touch the camera. This is what it's showing, and I wanted to show you that today. So I hope you guys have a good Sunday, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.